This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Lake. She says the defendant, her former landlord, returned her security deposit with a bad check that bounced. When she confronted him, he profusely apologized and told her there was some sort of mistake and to deposit it again. This time, the bank told her the defendant placed a stop payment on it. The man has wasted her time, wasted her money with bank fees, and she's suing this kook for every penny of the $2,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Noblejas. He says the plaintiff damaged his house something awful, and he stopped payment on the security check when his contractor told him there was $5,000 worth of damages she caused. It took him a lot of time and more than $5,000 to get the house back in rentable shape, and if anyone's owed money today, it's him. He's accused of passing bad checks.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff got her security deposit back from the landlord, but it bounced. The defendant says, yeah, he stopped payment because she destroyed the joint. It's the case of gotta bounce.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Okay, Jennifer Lake, you are suing Mr. Noblejas, your landlord, for $2,000 a return of your security deposit plus fees that you were charged for his bounced check because he originally returned it to you. Okay, what happened? How long did you live there?
I lived there for approximately 3.5 years, Your Honor. What happened was I had lost my house that I owned in Sandy, in Superstorm Sandy, in Island Park, and ended up moving my son and I a number of times in different towns because there was nothing available in Island Park at the time. I desperately needed to get back to Island Park specifically because I wanted to keep my son in the school district.
How old was your son?
At the time, he was 9.
Okay.
And so the defendant's house had become available about 1.5 years after Sandy for rent in Island Park. And I
All right,
also
so
wanted.
you signed how long a lease?
It was a 2-year lease.
And how much were you paying?
$2,100 a month.
And how much was the security deposit?
He wanted 2 months security, so $4,200 on top of the first month.
Okay. Now, at some point, the lease was over, and then you stayed month to month?
Correct.
Okay. And do you have a copy of the lease?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
That's the lease. And his.
Landscaping, according to your lease, was your responsibility, correct?
He told me I had to mow the back lawn. Yes.
Well, what the contract says,
Right.
as opposed to what you just said, is
Right.
landscaping will be lessee's responsibility.
Right.
That would include anything that would normally be encompassed in landscaping. Yeah, that doesn't make you responsible for planting flowers or anything like that.
Which I did, but yes.
Right, but maintenance is your responsibility. So what ends up happening? You decide that you're going to leave, you find another place.
No, I didn't decide I was going to leave, Your Honor. The defendant told me the end of April of 2017, in the same breath, he said, I'm raising the rent and I'm selling the house.
Okay, and so when did you move out of his place?
I had found the place. I then told him that officially August 1st is when I'd be out.
All right, so you get out by the end of July.
Correct.
And then do you do a walkthrough with him or not really?
Not with him. He told me at the time he lived in Connecticut, although he would come every single month to collect the rent in person.
Okay, so he did not do a walkthrough with you, and then you leave and you expect that you're going to get your security deposit back, and what's your first inkling that you're not getting it back?
Well, he sent me a text saying, I'm going to inspect the house this weekend.
And then he did, and then he sent you a security deposit.
He inspected the house. He sent me my security deposit.
Now, at this point, had you lived out your...
1 month.
Right, so which you're not supposed to do. You know
he
that.
agreed to it. We spoke to him. We both spoke to him about it.
Did you agree to...
No, Your Honor, that's a lie.
Okay,
Most
landlords don't agree to that.
We had an argument.
I have, actually. But most landlords don't agree to that because that's not the law. The law is that security is for security. Most tenants just do it.
Yes, that's exactly what she did, Your Honor.
Right. But in any event, so what's at play is not 4 but 2. And then what happened? And who's the gentleman with you?
This is my friend Mark.
What's the relationship between you two? Friends or?
Boyfriend, girlfriend?
Boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay. Let me just ask you a question. Why are you keeping the security? Because you wrote her a check. And you got the check, you deposited the check, and then the check bounced, correct? Or you thought it bounced?
No, I know it bounced. I have
No, but
it.
I mean, in fact, had it bounced the first time you put it through, or
Yes.
had there been a stop payment?
No, Your Honor, it bounced the first time. He then, and I have the text, said, oh, that shouldn't have happened. I will meet you and give you the cash instead. And then he told him instead, oh, I'm not going to give her the cash. She left $5,000 in damage.
Okay, now let's talk about that.
This
Did you
is
try to
after.
deposit the check again?
Well, the bank said I should, and his
Right, but
bank.
at that
and
point, had he already said, I'm not gonna?
But I didn't know that.
Okay, so then you try to deposit again, and this time there's a stop payment on it.
That time there was a
All
stop
right,
payment.
let's talk about that. Why did you stop payment on a check that you had written after seeing the place?
My purpose at the beginning is just to make sure that all her belongings were gone.
No, wait,
Okay?
stop. Your purpose before you write a check of $2,000 is to make sure there's no damage, because that is a security deposit. So then you wrote the $2,000 check,
I did,
and
Your
then you
Honor.
changed your mind.
Because
Why?
because I called someone, a contractor, to assess the damage. And then when I was told that
If
it
you
will-
felt there were damages, why did you return the security
Because
deposit?
Your Honor, I'm not a professional, contractor.
But do you have eyeballs?
I see,
Right.
damages on the floor
Okay,
and all that.
so then why
But
don't
see,
you do what every other landlord does, which is get an estimate before you return the deposit and then talk to your client, to your tenant?
I'm trying to avoid confrontational,
And now look at you.
No,
How did that work out?
Yeah,
All right, so what you
because-
do instead is you stop payment, and that's confrontation. And so what are the damages? Tell me let's go item by item of...
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so first of all, my question to you is, do you have pictures of the way you handed it to her?
Before she moved in, I have them, Your Honor.
Okay, and those would be under which folder?
It's called before they move in.
All right, so are these the pictures you're talking about? Can you take a look at the screen and tell me, are these the pictures of the floor before she moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then, according to you, she damaged the place while living there.
Yes.
And those pictures are damage? The pictures that have the
Yes.
heading damage?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, the pictures he has before I moved in may very well be pictures from before the family that lived there before I did. There was a family living there for a year, 2 adults and
Did
a
you
child.
take pictures when you moved in?
No, I didn't.
Let me suggest to every tenant within the sound of my voice that when you move in somewhere, what you do is you take a long, slow, boring video on your phone of every single problem with the place. And then you send it by email to your landlord to say, I just want to document that these things were already there. That is how you avoid problems. And let me suggest to every landlord within the sound of my voice that you do the same.
Your Honor, as far as that...
Just a second. So now, the next thing you feel she's responsible for is what? These are some gouges that are in the wall. And what were those gouges about?
Is that where the shelves were or the pictures?
What room is this?
That's one of the walls where she was hanging pictures.
Okay, so there had been, how do you know there were pictures and not shelves?
And because when I, once in a while,
Okay,
that
so you know
I went
it's
inside.
what room is this, so she knows what you're
I
looking
think that was in the bedroom.
Okay, does
But
that
she
sound
had
right?
also pictures in the living room and the
Okay.
dining room.
All right, and you feel that that's normal wear and tear. Well, I don't think that's normal wear and tear. That's damage to the
Your
wall.
Honor,
Yeah.
can I answer why?
Well, no, you don't have to say anything. You just won on that one. I mean, it's good on that one. Let's see the next picture. What's
Okay.
this a picture of?
That's the side entrance of the
Okay,
house.
now
on the
that's
side.
overgrown and needs to be weeded and needs to be landscaped, which is part of your responsibility under the lease. So you kind of let it go in the last.
When I was desperately trying to move, during that time, it was late spring, early summer, and that may have happened, but that's not
No,
how
that's a
I had
lie,
it normally.
Your Honor.
Right. Okay.
As far as how it was.
Well,
handled
no, I mean,
normally.
this needs to be addressed, is what I'm saying, because that is something that he would be able to keep for is, whatever it costs to.
It looks like
weed.
an
I would have had
abandoned-
to have come back after I moved to take
It looks
care of
like
it.
an
Really, you could
abandoned
hire
house.
just a moment.
Yeah.
You could hire somebody to do it.
I would have been happy that Mark would have been happy to
Mark
come
would have
back.
been
but
happy to
now-
do it, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
know, but that's okay. But I mean, see that, that I can't ignore that. You can't return it that way when. That's why I was looking in the lease to see if that was your responsibility or his. All right, what are you complaining about in this picture?
Well, you see the bushes, they were not trimmed.
He always, he
Okay,
had come
stop.
to the house.
And what are you showing me in this picture?
See that vine? It's a vine. It's not a tree.
And that need to be
it's
cut back.
overgrown.
I got it,
No,
yep.
no. What happened, Your Honor? That
I
vine.
got it. I got it on the vine. Tell me what this is. This looks like water damage from people walking in with wet boots and stuff like that.
I have a picture of that as well. That is exactly how it looked when I moved in, and I always kept a doormat in front of that area,
What
which
is
I
it,
have a
what is
picture
it you
of.
have a picture of?
Both that and the doormat.
How are you going to prove that it was taken at the time you moved in?
I can't prove it was taken at the
Don't
time
bother.
I moved in.
So what's
except
good for
to
the goose
say-
is good for the gander.
Okay.
All right, now look at me. Do you have? Do any of those other pictures show the front door?
You showed
One
it,
of them.
Your Honor.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you showed
let's
it, Your Honor.
look back. There's also a lot of scratches on this floor. You're complaining about this. This is where? Where's this? What part of the house?
That's in the kitchen area, Your Honor.
No front door pictures. Are these all the pictures from before?
Yes, before they moved in.
Yeah, but why didn't you take more pictures? What were you taking pictures of?
I thought that was sufficient. I
Oh,
thought
well, that
enough.
was a mistake to
Okay.
decide what I'm going to find
You
sufficient.
know, just to Your
well,
Honor,
but,
you know, when
but
they
see, the
moved-
problem is she's claiming that, in fact, that damage was already there.
Yeah, but look at the rest of the house with the picture.
Yeah, I
Your
find
Honor.
that hard to believe. I'm with you on that. I am finding
What?
that hard to believe. That damage was there when the pictures he does take of the floor show, like, kind of the floor being impeccable.
These pictures are after he had it finished.
That's right.
All right,
Your Honor, can I just comment on what he said about the house for
let
sale?
me ask you a question. What do you think is fair that he keep of the security deposit? Anything or nothing?
So, does it cross the line for a landlord to write the check knowing he's going to stop payment?
Absolutely. Why write it if you can't honor it?
Well, he says he doesn't want to be confrontational.
Well, you're confrontational anyway, because I'm going to confront you because I didn't get the money.
That's a really good point. Going inside the courtroom.
I mean, at this point, I would say, you know, if you want somebody to come in and take care of the weeds that were growing that I left, that would be fair. And maybe just to spackle just that wall where the shelves
What about the
were.
floors?
Absolutely not, Your Honor. I didn't damage the floors.
You guys are adamant that he did not hand them to you that way. So the question becomes, these are digital pictures taken with your telephone, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So may I see your telephone so I can see the pictures on
Yes.
your telephone and see the dates on them?
Yes, ma'am.
In other words, the ones that you've entered into
Yes,
evidence
ma'am.
saying that these are the before pictures. What month did you move in? And year?
March 1st, 2014.
I just need you to go to March
14.
of 2014, or February of 2014. Were you able to get to February 2014?
It's 2013, Your Honor.
If it's 13, that was not when I moved in.
That's not when she moved in.
Yeah, that was when the renovation was done
Yes,
after
I understand.
Hurricane
Another
Sandy.
family lived there.
Yeah, but only for 6 months, Your Honor.
I don't care if they lived there for 6 minutes.
Let-
If
let-
they're
let me ma-
animals and they left the place bad.
can I make a
I know.
statement?
No, can I say something? I've asked 100 times for you to show me how you handed the place over. And you've shown me these pictures as though you took them before you handed them to her. Now I'm finding out that these are pictures that were taken before another family moved in.
Your Honor.
Do you have the lease from the other family so that
No,
I can
I
see
don't.
how long they lived there?
I don't. I don't have the
Mm-hmm.
lease with me. Your Honor, can I make a statement, please?
Because if you take these pictures, it sounds like they lived there a year.
No, I don't.
You see, I'm going to tell you why it looks to me like they lived there a year. The pictures that were taken on March 3rd of 2013. And that would be, the only reason to take those pictures is to list the place or to show the condition it was in. And then she takes over, I know, in March of 2014. So,
Your Honor.
of course they lived there
Your
a year,
Honor,
not
I
6
wasn't
months.
able to rent the place right away.
Okay, I got it. I'm going to order you to return the major portion of the security deposit. I'm going to allow you to keep $150 for landscaping and another $100 for spackling, which means that you must return to the plaintiff $1,750. That is my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So in a case that certainly reveals the importance of pictures as evidence in a lawsuit, the plaintiff, you'll step over here, Mr. Noblehouse, the plaintiff gets $1,750 back of the security deposit that you're still holding. So you realize you had the wrong kinds of pictures to show the judge.
I don't think so, but
Well,
that's
she
what
says she wanted to see
said.
pictures exactly the way it looked like when she moved in, and you couldn't provide that. And that cooked
No,
your
I
goose,
did
so
not
to
have
speak.
those pictures
Yeah,
when
that
they
hurts
moved
you.
in.
That
yeah,
hurts you.
yeah. Hurt
Well,
me
maybe-
very badly. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe you've learned something from all of this. Anyway, she's finally
Yeah.
going to get her security deposit back. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
all right.
Okay, at least most of it. You were suing Miss Lake for $2,000. You're getting $1,750. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
All right.
That's
Big
fair.
problem. You've learned something, I think, from all of this too. You know.
Yes. Take pictures of everything that looks damaged when
Better
I move
pictures,
in.
yeah.
Right,
Okay. Well, very
right.
good. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Harvey, really, pictures very important, right?
Okay, when the landlord inspects the joint and then writes the check, if he stops payment, he is a goner. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.